We're here live right after finishing our 20-minute bathroom break while our wife does the dishes. This is the All In podcast. We're 3 guys in our late 20s. And this week we're all in on trying to figure out how to be a great father and good sons in a world where the father-son relationship has been broken. Bada bing, bada boom. Bing, bada bing, bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Fellas, I want to start out with who are some good dads, right? What's our Mount Rushmore of dads? Who's on that?
Kobe
Bryant. I would have Kobe Bryant on there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you have to.
What would make you say that? What context do you have to know about his fatherhood?
He was a really good basketball player.
That's right.
Mamba mentality.
The Mamba mentality, attacking fatherhood.
I mean, can you imagine the Mamba on the grill? Dude was just
at the family cookout
burgers.
Yeah. you have to have Kobe Bryant. He had what, 3 daughters? He has.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. And then one that passed with him.
We might need to have a fact check for the All In podcast.
We'll get there.
It'll be in the after show credits.
Yeah. Kobe Bryant, great father figure. The next one, I thought this was a really good one. Will Smith from The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, man.
Have you guys ever seen that movie?
Absolutely.
Great song.
Heart-wrenching.
Not the song, the movie. Great movie.
Yeah.
It follows Will Smith, and it's actually Jaden Smith, right? His son.
Plays his son.
Yeah.
The scene where so if you haven't seen the movie, right, he's struggling to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
Wife leaves him because he just can't put food on the table.
Yep.
And he has this dream of being a Wall Street broker. And so he finally gets his big break after knocking on the door, sending in resumes, and he walks out onto Wall Street, and there's the crowds of people, and he just starts clapping like this, walking that way, raising his arms. And before every high school baseball game, I watched a motivational video, and that was one of the scenes. Oh my. You could hit a 70-mile-an-hour fastball after watching Will Smith.
Say 7 mile an hour?
70.
Yeah.
High level.
Well, there's also they're playing on the basketball court, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact. Yeah. It's like, don't let anybody tell you
you can't be anything.
You can't be anything. You can never do something.
You sure that's not iRobot?
I Am Legend.
I think it was I Am Legend. Talking to his dog.
Will Smith is one of those, like, Pursuit of Happiness was his only movie where he's not like a hired gun. No. Except, there's Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
That's Brad Pitt.
Oh. No, I was thinking of Hitch.
It's a hired gun and Hitch in a way.
Yeah, right.
Helping
Have
guys.
you guys ever seen Independence Day? The alien invasion movie?
Is he in that?
He is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
See, that's what I mean. Hired gun.
Well, in Pursuit of Happiness, he is not a hired gun. He's a great father.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
Next, I got John Krasinski in A Quiet Place.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what his character's name is.
It's the Abbott family.
The Abbott family?
Yeah, I think I'd heard that, because I think he was the director, producer of the movie, too.
Yeah.
And it's his wife who actually plays Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Are they married in real life?
They're married in real life.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Which is why a lot of those scenes of their, like, if you haven't seen the movie, what is it? It's another alien invasion, basically.
Yeah.
Somewhat,
I mean, pretty much.
And he sacrifices his life for his deaf
kids.
daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, I cried during that movie.
It's a very moving scene.
Bishop Robert Barron did a whole write-up on it.
Yeah.
And was like, this is one of the best secular movies in terms of showing Christ's sacrifice.
Yeah.
Which is so true. He lays his life down for his family, for his sheep. Quiet Place 3, not nearly as good.
I didn't know they were on the third one.
Is that the day one? Or
it's day one.
It's
there's Quiet Place 2, which is after Krasinski dies. That one's okay.
Yeah.
But Quiet Place 3 is like a whole new acting set.
Yeah.
And it's just like it went too long.
Yeah.
You don't need a third.
Yeah, and the whole movie, now I'm remembering, it takes place in New York City, right? They like never leave the city. It's just day one.
Right.
Gosh, yeah.
You talk about a glow up.
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
Absolutely.
The amount of weight and muscle he put on for that movie, whatever his supplements are.
Well, I think it was he was on a Jack Reacher or Jack Ryan, one of those shows,
Well,
and that's where he got bulked up.
I think so.
I think one of the first things he
13
did was
hours.
13 hours.
Yeah, that's
and
when
I
he bulked
watched
up.
that movie
that
and I
was
thought
a
he was
good one.
unbelievable, but it was one of the first things that I had seen of him outside of The Office.
You're like, why is Jim holding a AR-15?
Why does he have a beard?
And why is he jacked?
Yeah.
That'd be a funny spoof is like do 13 hours, but then Michael Scott appears during the battle scenes.
All right, last one on my Mount Rushmore. I got St. Louis Martin.
Can't beat that.
St. Louis Martin. John Michael, I know you have a devotion to St. Louis
Yeah.
Martin. You want to tell us a little more about him?
Yeah, when Emily and I were in our engagement, we read through. There's a book called The Extraordinary Parents of Saint Therese of Lisieux. So for those who aren't familiar, Louis Martin was Saint Therese's dad. Saint Therese is the patron saint, one of the patron saints of missionaries, and the only canonized father, mother, daughter combo.
Ooh.
So he's a
Is there a
saint.
father, mother, son combo out there?
I don't think so.
Jesus married.
JMJ. But anyways, the story is beautiful. There's the Extraordinary Parents of Saint Therese, and then there's a volume just on Saint Louis, and then there's a volume on his wife, Saint Zélie.
Mm-hmm.
And the story, I mean, their life was his wife tragically passed away, and he was left with a large family, many of whom were girls. And Saint Therese would call him her king because he was so loving and gentle, and he fostered their vocation to love God, but then he also fostered for many of his daughters, almost all the daughters who didn't die in childbirth became religious sisters. So they gave their life to Christ and they entered a convent for the rest of their life. And so you just think about the type of dad that it would take to continually send off, daughter after daughter who you're never going to see again.
Yeah.
Because she's in a cloister.
Cloistered,
Yeah, she's behind the cloister to give herself completely to God. And just a beautiful image. He also was kind of a failure in the workplace, which I find
I didn't know that.
somewhat relatable.
Yeah.
His business,
What
he
did he
was
do?
a watchmaker, watch fixer.
Okay.
And he wasn't, I mean, I don't want to talk about a saint negatively, but in the story it talks about that they struggled to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so he's wrestling with his wife passing away and how to raise children in the faith, and just an
Because
incredible.
were the daughters young whenever the
Yeah.
mom passed away?
Therese was early childhood when her
Okay.
mother passed
I
away.
didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, your wife passing away is a loss, and then the sacrifice of giving away all of your daughters like that to be just totally stripped of the entire family that you had.
Yeah.
I mean, just to think about, like, and that's what's beautiful about fatherhood is taking on the suffering as a dad, like going back to the quiet place,
Yeah.
taking on the suffering of the family, being able to bear it.
Yeah.
It helps when you have broad shoulders.
Yeah. Great. And I had one honorable mention that I couldn't fit into Mount Rushmore.
I can't wait.
I have Vin Diesel. No,
had
not
no
not
kids.
from Fast and Furious.
Oh, okay.
Although that he does talk about family. Talking about
Family.
from The Pacifier. Do you guys remember that movie?
All time.
Now
classic.
those aren't his kids,
Right.
but he plays a great father figure. He's a stopping secret agents on the side. He
Changing diapers.
he wrestles his son, or not his sons, the kids that he's babysitting's coach at school. You guys remember this?
No.
He puts him in a
I don't
chicken wing.
recall.
And we want to put them on honorable mention.
Oh, I mean, what a great father figure. Are you kidding?
Provider, protector.
Provider and protector.
I
Like
like
what
that.
more could you want?
I mean, being bald.
Being
Wearing-
bald. I just, I
I'm
relate
getting
to a
there.
lot of his.
His muscle mass. How's that?
Don't relate to that one, but I definitely relate to the hair that Vin Diesel sports in that movie.
He looks good bald.
He does
Yeah,
look
I
good
mean,
bald.
you have to be jacked.
Yeah.
If you have no facial hair and bald, your only option is
being
to be
jacked.
muscular.
Yeah.
If not, you are a thumb. You are Mr. Clean. You are
like from Spy Kids.
you are
That's what I was
you are
thinking.
a moving index finger.
Yeah.
That is what you are.
That's great. Y'all have any honorable mentions you want to throw in last minute?
I mean, I'd put my dad on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
So, my brother, his name's Joseph. He's 25, about to turn 26.
Okay.
And he was born with pretty significant special needs.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's the easiest way to explain it is that he's basically been in a coma-like state his entire life.
Yeah.
So I was 3 years old when he was born, And just witnessing it affects your whole life when you have a son that really struggles to be able to get out of the home.
Yeah.
If he does get out of the home, it's in a wheelchair.
Right.
All of his eating has to be in bed through a feeding tube. And just witnessing, my dad has had to sacrifice so many things. He's had to sacrifice career aspirations to be able to be home more, so that he could help my mom in caretaking.
Yeah.
And just going back to the sacrifice piece, that was an incredible example growing up.
Yes.
Of witnessing that.
John Michael, you've got 3 children.
Last time I checked.
Your second child, Judah,
Yep.
has special needs.
Yep.
He's Down syndrome.
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. How do you feel like, when you had Judah?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've, looked to your dad as an example, or do you feel like you've been able to draw strength from seeing your dad's witness as a father?
I mean, when we found out Judah had Down syndrome when Emily was 20 weeks pregnant with him, first call was to my dad.
Yeah.
Because I knew that he knew what I was stepping into. And the craziest part was he was crying over the phone, and he said, "I just wish that you wouldn't have to go through what I've gone through. Like, I wish I could take that away from you. Gosh. Because I don't want you to have to sacrifice what I've sacrificed."
That's powerful.
I'm getting a little choked up thinking about it, but he knew it was a gift to have a child like that, but he also knew that the gift comes with the cross. Yeah. And so I have become great friends with my dad after becoming a man. Yeah. And you opened with that relationship. And when you transition from being a father to a son to being more almost a brother to a brother, as a man to a man, that's a really special transition. Yeah. And I think I'm lucky, because I think there's a lot of men who never get to make that transition. Yeah. Because whether it's themselves, whether it's their dad, there's just an opportunity to not have that level of relationship intimacy. Yeah.
Well, the relationship just has to change so much.
Right.
You go from being, the dad that, you're in the home and you're providing for your children, you're forming your children, and then it's not just that you're accompanying your son as he becomes a man, or accompanying your son as he becomes a father. There's still an element of, looking towards your dad, but it's like a whole new dynamic in the relationship where he has to let you fail and be a dad. Yep.
Jose, since you've gotten married, I mean, you're 8 months, 7 months in, 8 months in. Has that relationship changed with Rafa?
With my dad?
Guys, we love Jose's dad. Jose's dad is...
He's a funny dude.
Tell us how he looks.
I want to start out with, he embraces this.
Right. Yeah. He does it to himself.
Yeah, he fully embraces this. But if you guys just Google Toy Story 2, man with, is it the Cheeto
Cheeto guy?
Cheeto man, Toy Story 2. That is what my dad looks like.
100%.
Like that was his profile picture on social media.
Like, it looks like his memoji. I mean, it's
and he's a funny guy. He's very social. To answer your question, I don't know if it's fully changed yet. I think we're in that weird transition period. Yeah. Right. As he's like coming to terms. He's so excited. He's going to be a grandfather. Mm-hmm. Is going to be first grandchild on both sides, actually.
That's really cool.
And he's super excited. And, I think living so far away can add its own challenges. But we're still trying to figure out as that relationship changes. I'm sure, once I start hitting different challenges, he's for sure someone I'm going to be calling. Right. To, ask questions and just kind of try to connect with him in a different way. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying, John Michael.
I mean, moving your family from Mexico to the U.S.
Yeah.
Was that a risk for him?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. For our listeners, my family moved from Mexico City to the U.S. in 2005.
You were 10.
I think I was 9.
9.
Yeah, because my birthday, I'm December. Yeah. So I was 9 going on 10.
Yeah.
My brother was 11. My sister was 7. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, moving a family of 5 to a different country. Yeah. We all spoke varying degrees of English. We went to school growing up in Mexico that was like, we had English classes every year. Yeah. But I mean, I knew cat, bed, dog. I'm sure I knew.
That's
a little
gonna
more.
get you far in life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so it was actually funny when we first moved here. We showed up to school, and when my mom was like signing us up, they're like, "Oh, are you interested in putting your kids in ESL?" And my mom didn't really understand what that meant or like what they were trying to tell her. She's like, "No." So we never were put into like these ESL classes. We were just thrown into the deep end.
Oh gosh.
Which I think ended up helping us.
The teacher
sure.
asked like, where is Mexico
Yeah.
located on a map? And you're like, dog.
I'm like, bad. So
Right next to the Gulf of
I think
America.
that ended up helping us and just transitioning and learning the language, the culture, all these different things.
What blew your mind about the U.S.?
First thing that blew my mind the most, there were two things actually, because we would come vacation in the U.S.
Yeah.
Where?
Went to Disney World once. We towards the end we go to San Antonio a little more often.
Yep.
SeaWorld?
Fiesta?
Texas, Six Flags,
Awesome place.
SeaWorld. And then we had family in Oklahoma and Dallas, so New York. So we weren't like complete strangers to America. But as a little kid, there were two things that blew me away about the U.S. The first was pink lemonade. I remember the first time I had a sip of pink lemonade. I was 10 years old. And I was like, how did they do this? Like,
What
science
is
has
this,
come
witchcraft?
so far. We have lemons, and we made them pink.
Is that what made you want to become a biomedical engineer?
Yeah,
You were
absolutely. Just trying to figure out how to
Make pink
make pink lemons. I thought that was crazy. The second thing, this was later, but still early on. The first time we went to Wendy's.
The square patties?
The square patties, yes. I've never seen a square patty.
I've never seen a square cow in my life.
I was like, what's going on here?
I thought it was funny. Our mutual friend Jorge, born in Venezuela, moved to the U.S. right around the same time.
Yeah.
When you ask him that question, he talks about Chili's.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, Chili's was unbelievable. He's like, we went to Chili's 2-3 times a week because we loved it so much when we moved to America.
Well, that and buffets.
Really?
I don't know if they exist in Mexico. Maybe they do, and my parents just didn't take us there when we were growing up. I remember my brother and I just had like 20 slices of pizza, like so much spaghetti, the ice cream machine. Well, it was Golden Corral was the one that we went to.
Oh,
but it was like I made it, right? Like this is the taste
This is what America is all
Yeah,
about.
like, this is
pink
the American
lemonade,
dream.
buttered rolls.
Oh yeah, it was insane. We just were not used to that. But going back to your question, John Michael, of like what's my relationship with my dad like?
Yep.
I think I've been reflecting just on like my childhood.
Yeah.
Right. My dad did the best that he could. Like the three of us, and like probably y'all's dads as well. He was figuring things out as he went along.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's something that I've been reflecting on. But I've also been thinking of what are all the things that my dad tried to teach me that I just completely ignored.
Yep.
Right. And then the easiest one to point to is golf.
Yeah.
Right. My dad wanted me to get into golf so
Was he
badly.
a golfer?
He was.
Oh, that's right. He had the golf clubs. You got the golf clubs from him.
Yeah, yeah. I got my golf clubs from my dad after I broke a golf club that I bought off Facebook Marketplace. I had to get a new set. But yeah, my dad really wanted us to get into golf. And, in Mexico, back then, golf wasn't very popular.
Yep.
And so none of my friends played. I didn't know anyone that played golf other than my dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds lame. As I became a teenager, I was just stubborn and, angsty.
Basketball, football.
Yeah. Played football growing up, soccer. Played basketball when I was 6 years old, and that was about it.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah. And yeah, it was just like, that's the last thing I want to do is get into like a weird sport that my dad is into. Of course, now I regret it. It's my favorite thing favorite sport to play, if you will. What about y'all? What are let's start light. What are some things that you wish you would listen to your dad about?
You're thinking. What do you got?
Yeah. My dad, so did you guys get allowances?
Yes.
Like they give
On
you
and off.
money. They give you money every week.
I had to work for it.
Yeah,
mowing the
I
lawn.
worked. If I did my chores,
Yeah, if I mowed the lawn.
was yours, you just got it no matter what?
$3
3?
every week.
Well, how old were you?
I mean, all the way up until I went to high school. We got $3 cash every single Sunday.
Wow. Did you try to teach your dad about inflation? I mean, like,
hey, Dad, this is actually like $1 now. Well, the idea was pretty cool. So the idea was he was trying to teach us financial literacy. And so the idea behind $3 was one to spend, one to save, and one to give to charity.
Yep.
And so what he tried to teach us is right away, you take the $1 for spending, you put it somewhere. You take the $1 for savings, you put it, in your dresser, piggy bank, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you take the $1 to church on Sunday and you put it in the basket. So like great vision.
That's a great idea.
Vision.
Yeah.
The problem was there was no accountability. And so I was blowing out the Lego sets with all my charity money because there was like, it just, he, and I appreciate this. He wanted us to fail. And so he wasn't like, hey, I'm checking the basket when it gets passed to make sure your $1's in there.
Yeah.
But then after a couple months, what I found out is that he was not going to give me any more of my allowance because of the way I was spending it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I didn't understand the lesson.
Yeah.
Being a, stupid 13, 12-year-old, 10-year-old, whatever. And so I was just mad at him.
Yeah.
Which I think that's something that always happens is you just get mad at them when they're trying to teach you a lesson.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, he did a good job. He did a very good job.
Mm.
Yeah.
I feel like this isn't, maybe directly answer your question, but I think something that I look back on and I appreciate a lot more. I didn't recognize what he was doing at the time, but my dad really valued allowing me to have a lot of different life experiences.
Yeah.
Like I grew up doing karate, Kenpo karate. That was a life experience.
Yeah.
Junior black belt, baby.
Yeah.
But he wanted me to, go through with my commitment to become a black belt, even when I didn't want to. I wanted to quit. I was bored of it, and I'd done it for my whole life until I was 12.
Yeah.
Can I tell a story about your picture book?
Please.
So, you've seen the karate Clayton picture book?
Yep.
So it was in our college house. It was a whole book of pictures of Clayton doing karate, and it was a mainstay in our college house. It was like right next to our inflatable moose and our one picture we had on the wall.
Yep.
And after college, I grabbed it. No, I didn't grab it. You grabbed it.
Uh-huh.
And then when we were moving into your house in Denver, you gave me a bag of stuff to keep in our storage. And I was rifling through it, and I found the karate book. And I was like, this is gold.
Yeah.
I'm going to save this for the best day possible. So here at the office, it was Clayton's birthday. And so our team went out to lunch. Mm-hmm. And I had packed a giant handle of Basil Hayden, which is one of our favorite bourbons. And then Clayton's karate book. Yeah. And so he's opening it up in front of our whole team, and he pulls out his own karate book of all the pictures of him, and everyone flipped out. They're like, where did you get that? Oh, man. We had it in our office.
Yeah, no, it's still in there.
We had it in our office for years.
Yeah.
I got to find that.
Yeah.
I don't know where
it's on our teammate Carrie's desk.
Oh, it's on Carrie's desk?
Yeah. I gave it to her to remember me by.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, I moved to Texas, and I wanted everybody to still think about me.
Your old team.
Remember
yeah, so I'm sure, she flips through it every now and again, But, I grew up doing karate. We were fortunate enough, we did, we went scuba diving a couple times growing up. My dad would take me to a bunch of Mavs games. He helped me go to Europe on a pilgrimage. And my dad's whole thing was just about, allowing me to just discover the world and have different and new life experiences. And I think as a kid, it was just, that was the way I grew up, and that's how all families must be. I didn't realize how blessed we were to, have the things that we have. But now that I'm a dad, and I'm like, putting my, my youngest son or my oldest son in soccer, and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for him to do soccer. Like, I can't wait for him to do this, and I just appreciate a lot more my dad's, commitment to just opening my mind up, you know? So
I know you did scuba with your dad because you had your scuba gear nailed to the wall in our college house.
I thought it was cool.
In his bedroom, over the bed was his flippers, his snorkel, and his goggles.
I didn't know what to do. I was like, my room is so big. What do I hang up on the wall?
It was that, and then it was a signed jersey from Johnny Manziel, and then it was like a crucified image of Jesus. And it was just like, here's Clayton in a nutshell.
You know, the signed photo of Johnny Manziel was a big argument recently in my marriage because I wanted to put it up in the guest bedroom.
Yeah.
And we
That's
live in Bryan College Station, where Texas A&M is, where Johnny Manziel is also known as Johnny Football, also known as Johnny
It's
Legend.
like it'd be like a themed guest room.
That's what she thought, was like, we're not going to do an A&M themed guest room. I'm like, I didn't say we're going to do an A&M theme.
But if we did, it'd be a great idea.
I'm just saying, this is a great piece. You know, it's a conversation starter.
It brings the room together.
It brings the room together.
The best part is it's like, 1 foot by 6 inches.
Yeah.
It's the real focal point of the room.
So we said I didn't go in the guest bedroom, but it went in the hallway leading into the guest bedroom. So
That's called marital compromise.
yeah, exactly.
It's in the hallway going into the guest bedroom.
Did y'all do vacations growing up? So you're talking about Disney World, Fiesta.
We did, yeah. We went to Acapulco a lot, which is like a beach
It's like
in Mexico.
Oh, I thought it was Mayan ruins.
Acapulco.
Or Acapulco in Spanish.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do they have there? A beach, you said?
Yeah, they got beaches.
Wow.
They got
What else?
restaurants.
Golden Corral.
No Golden Corral. I think they had a Costco.
What'd you think of Costco? Was that? I mean,
I don't think
feel
I
like
really.
Costco's only recently gotten big.
Okay.
I also
that's-
don't know if I was sentient enough
sentient.
to really like understand what a Costco was
Like
till I
aware
was like
enough?
in college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And by then it wasn't like weird. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's fair.
Like
The
I
only
think I paid
thing-
attention enough to it. But yeah, we'd go. It's actually funny. We had 1 year went to Acapulco for New Year's, and a lot of my mom's
That sounds
siblings
so fun.
had like an apartment in the same complex. It was the same building.
Yeah.
And I remember like everyone that was there for New Year's was at this party. And I don't know where this came from, but someone got like a hot air balloon, like a mini one, and everyone would tie like your New Year's wish
That's
to it on like a
cool.
Post-it note, and then we would like send it up. Wow. I don't remember what I wished before, but I remember my brother and I snuck in like after everyone put their wishes, and we read through all of them.
You're like, dude, there's 6 pink lemonades on here.
I remember one was like, no, it was like I wish to score 3 goals this year in soccer. It was all the little kids that were at the party, like read their wishes. Like I wish for a unicorn. It was like just like we were just cracking up at like all these things. But I remember we set it off at midnight. Just start off the new year sending our wishes up into the sky, and we like send it off, and we're all like looking at it, and within like 10 seconds. The whole thing just like erupts into flames and just like falls down into a car's windshield. Just like a loud like boom. And then like all the car alarms start going off. Everyone starts freaking out.
who
It's still
did
like
that?
on fire inside the car. My brother and I were like cheering, clapping. Like it was so fun.
I just love like dads on vacation.
Oh yeah. Oh man. When is it acceptable to start acting like a dad on vacation?
What would
Like-
you say is acting like a dad on vacation?
There's so many different examples. One is
Being really worried about the budget on vacation.
showing up to the airport 5 hours early
That's a good
and
one.
being like stressed
That's
out that
a
you're
good
running
one.
late.
Yeah.
Bragging about how early you woke up before everyone else, but you took like a 3-hour nap in the middle of the day.
Yeah, you gotta hit siesta time.
Oh, I've been up since 5 a.m.
Right.
You're like, Dad, it's vacation.
You're bragging about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like what have you been doing?
That's what my dad used to wake up like before everybody else, probably 5:30, 6 a.m. And it was like this thing. He'd go down to the lobby and get the newspaper down there, grab a cup of coffee, and that was the start to his day.
Oh,
Yeah, the life.
that sounds great.
So, but I also remember going through the airport and like just being a kid and just thinking my dad was ridiculous because he'd walk like 30 yards ahead of us.
Yeah.
Just to prove a
Like
point.
speed walking.
Like, hey, you got to speed up.
Like, we're running
He was
late.
trying to send a message, like you got to catch up.
You're like the flight before our flight still hasn't gotten to the gate
Yeah,
yet.
but we need to get to the gate so we can settle.
Yeah.
Get in the zone.
Did y'all go on vacations?
Yeah. I mean, ours are a little bit different because my brother.
Yep.
So he needed childcare. So we were the driving, driving vacation type. White sandy beaches, Galveston, Texas.
yeah,
Clear
baby.
blue water.
As of recently,
Yeah, if you've never been to Galveston.
Galveston glue up.
Did it really? I haven't been.
I don't know what.
I just remember the beaches
Did
were
you say
disgusting.
glue up?
Yeah,
Glue up.
Like, is that like past tense for glow up?
yeah,
They glue up.
yeah.
They glowed up.
They glowed up. They glue up.
ESL. I could have used those
I mean,
classes.
is glowed a word?
glowed. I don't think
either
glue
are
up is a
words.
word.
I don't think glowed is a word either. I don't think it matters when you're using
I don't
slang.
think it's glued up.
You guys knew what I was saying.
Oh yeah, we all nodded our heads.
Yeah. Well, I just remember it like whenever we would go after our family moved to Texas, it was like brown water, like just gross. And I remember one time in college we went and it was like crystal clear blue.
Huh?
Really?
So I don't know if it was just like something happened to the water, like the currents maybe took a lot of the dirt out.
Is this when we get into conspiracy theories about the ocean?
About the ocean? What's the ocean? What's big oceon up
hurricanes?
The government controls the weather.
Yeah, that type of thing. I don't know if you guys feel this as young dads, soon to be dads, is like I don't feel like I look like a dad. Like I look at what my dad wore in pictures, and it's like Skechers, pleated shorts.
Well, is it still acceptable to dress like that?
No, it's not, which is why we don't. But I'm like, I walk into a place, I'm wearing a basketball jersey, a floater hat, and then like chacos and 5-inch shorts. And people are like, there's no way those are his 3 kids.
So okay, are you trying to say I don't look like a dad because I look too cool to look like a dad?
That is,
or are you saying
maybe what I'm talking around?
I mean, I do kind of feel. I mean, I'm 28 and a half.
Yep.
Pushing 29 in August. But it is kind of funny, like telling people I have 3 kids. They don't expect me to have any children.
Well, so when do you start dressing like a dad? Because you guys have 3 kids.
40?
And you're not dressing like a dad.
Is it 40? 35?
Well, I would venture to say that no dad really attempts to dress like a dad.
Or was that what was cool when they were younger?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is I feel like
I hope not.
Like you told me my jeans were Ohio a couple months ago. We were on a pilgrimage visiting the shrine of the North American martyrs, and you had just learned this term.
Yeah, we've been John Michael and I were looking up slang nowadays.
And you told me my jeans were Ohio, and I was like, "What are you talking about? Skinny jeans are in."
No, they're not.
They're not. They've been out for a while. They've been out for so long that they're almost back in.
These, I mean, I wouldn't say they're skinny. They're a little bit.
For your thighs, they're skinny.
They're fitted. I mean, most jeans that I would wear are probably fitted. But I had no idea. You know, it's just like I'm not gonna. What do they call them? Or what are guys wearing? What do they call bluebells? Bluebell jeans?
No, it's
Bottom bells.
Bottom bells.
Bottom bells.
Where they flare out.
Now? Like
where they flare out.
Like those.
I don't
Maybe
like
is this us
Cowbells?
turning into like dads? We don't like the new stuff.
This is the line.
Exactly
This
my
is
point.
the line.
Is that we went on the pilgrimage, went to the shrine. I was like, I'm looking good. I'm wearing my on-cloud shoes. I'm wearing my polo and my skinny jeans. My fitted jeans. They look skinny because of my muscular thighs. And you told me I look Ohio, and I had no idea. So I feel like that's kind of what begins to happen is that, we kind of think it's funny, you like dressing like dad or whatever, but you just kind of age out. And I would say that, my wife's younger brothers, they dress differently.
What are they wearing? Are they doing the blowout hair?
Yeah. The
Where
middle,
it's got a ton of volume in the front.
well, yes.
Yep.
That, and then I don't think it's in anymore, or maybe I don't know, but the middle part thing.
Oh yeah.
I was at my brother-in-law's house, his college house, and on the fridge they've got all these different photos of like things they've done in college, and every single guy had a middle part, and
it's
I was like,
E-boy
that
haircut.
doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, but it was in.
Yeah.
But when Ty was looking at it, he was like,
That's cool.
well, no, it was like that's out now.
Oh.
He doesn't do his hair like
it's
that.
on. Okay.
So that's what I mean. Things are changing so quickly.
What's cool now?
I don't know. I
just
brought my
wearing
skinny
skinny
jeans. I don't have them on right now, but I brought them with me.
I think what's in right now is the modern mullet.
Yeah.
The modern mullet. I go to Great Clips.
Yeah.
It's here's my thing on Great Clips.
Yeah.
It's the Subway of hair salons.
If that's the Subway, what's the Jersey Mike's?
Sports Clips.
Sports Clips.
Yeah.
Because Subway, here's the thing with Subway, right? You never leave Subway and you're like, that was a great experience. You leave Subway and you're like, I have food in my belly and it was next to McDonald's and I chose the healthier option.
And I still have 4 hours left on my
Right.
road trip. Yeah.
Right. And that's Great Clips, is you never leave and think this is the best haircut I've gotten. But you always leave and you're like, it's shorter than it was.
Look fresh.
And they
Eat
all
fresh, look fresh.
I asked the people, what are the kids doing? And the
Is
modern
that what
mullet.
you say?
No, I said, what are people my age doing? No, I'm kidding.
I think you've become a dad when you go into Great Clips and you ask, what are the
What
kids
are the
doing?
kids doing nowadays?
That's the line.
Hello, fellow kids. You like my modern mullet?
I
What do you are you rocking a modern mullet right now?
So my understanding of the modern mullet, and we may need someone who doesn't have kids,
Someone younger.
is when it's not full lettuce,
Okay.
but it's like Cobb salad
In the back.
in the back.
Yeah.
So you got a little volume in the back, and then you're shaved here, but it's tapered up. So
it's
the old
tapered on the sides.
tapered on the sides,
Okay.
and then it's volume tapered to the back, and then you have the Cobb salad.
Okay.
The Cobb salad.
Yeah, Cobb salad.
Yeah.
You have lettuce, which is like me, long, and then you have Cobb salad, which is like it's not a salad, but there is some lettuce present.
Yeah.
There's bacon as well.
Yeah.
that's-
There's other things in there.
Right.
But lettuce is there.
Right.
Just not the main ingredient.
That's the modern mullet.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of Patrick Mahomes-esque.
Okay.
What? No.
It's a modern mullet.
I mean, Pat, I feel like Mahomes' haircut is like, that's the Mahomes haircut.
Yeah.
And like you see a guy and you're like,
That's the
there's a
Mahomes,
difference between, I think, what you're describing as the modern mullet and someone that I would look at and say, you got the Patrick Mahomes
I mean, there
haircut.
was what was it, the Macklemore haircut?
Oh yeah,
Like
the
10 years ago?
European soccer.
Yeah.
That was all the craze.
Yeah.
My freshman year of college.
Yeah, you had that.
Well, I asked my it wasn't my roommate at the time, but I asked him to give me a Macklemore haircut.
Yeah.
And it came out awful. And so we just ended up having to shave my head all the way around. But also at the same time, I was trying to grow out my mustache for the first time in my life, which I mean, there's a reason you guys have facial hair and I don't. It's
Yeah.
because I cannot really grow facial hair. And so me being the, insecure freshman that I was, I really wanted a cool mustache. And John Michael, being in a similar boat, you have great facial hair.
I
John
appreciate
Michael.
it.
But
I've glowed up.
freshman year, we
Glue
did
up.
You
not.
glue
And
up.
so we went to, we grew out our facial hair, but it was still really thin and you could see the upper lip.
Yeah.
And we didn't like that. So we went to CVS Pharmacy and we got Just for Men hair dye. And we were so anxious to put it on that we just went into the bathroom at CVS after we bought it. It was just like, what are these two freshman guys just came in,
They just
bought some hair dye, and
shoplifted.
locked themselves in the bathroom.
They just performed a crime. They just performed a crime.
And we came out and we had dyed our mustaches to try and make them look thicker. But what
It
ended up
didn't
happening
work.
was it just ended up staining my upper lip because I didn't have enough hair. And so I had this awful buzz cut haircut with a stained upper lip. And
I
so
think my funniest haircut story was accidental. I had a friend of a friend from high school that was diagnosed with cancer. He fully recovered. He's great now. He's healthy. And so he was like selling some wristbands and t-shirts as like a little fundraiser.
Yep.
And I happened to miss him at school that week, so I wasn't able to get it from him. So he's like, "Oh, just come over, swing by my house whenever this weekend. We'll be there. Just like pick it up." I was
Yep.
like, "Great." So I remember we went out to eat as a family, and after I was like, "Hey, Mom, can we go pick up my shirt for my buddy to support?" She's like, "Yeah, of course." And we pull up. I get down, knock on the door, walk in, and as I walk in, I see a group of guys surrounding this friend sitting on a chair. And he is wearing like one of those aprons to like
Yep.
cover from hair. And he like looks up and he goes, "Jose, are you cutting your hair with us too?"
no,
And I was like, yeah, I am. Like, man,
like shaving your head.
Yeah, so we shaved his head, and then it was me and 5 of his closest friends. And we all
Buzzed?
shaved their head, like
Or
buzz
bald?
cut, like
When you say
down-
buzz,
No, not buzz, like down, like
The one.
I didn't have hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just really fun because I was there, I went second right after him. And I was like, I gotta go. My mom's right outside. And so I walked out 10 minutes later. My mom was like, that took a while. And she looked up. She's like, what happened then? I was like, Mom, I was too embarrassed to speak up. that was a good time. But going back to dads, right? We talked about what are some things that we wish that we would have listened to our dads about.
yeah.
Is there anything that you wish that your dad would have taught you? It's kind of along the same vein,
Right.
but what are some things that you wish your dad would have taught you?
Well, I think, we were talking about this off air, but when you become a dad, there's only so much that you can be taught, I guess. You can read books, like all of us have, books that we've read, about parenting and fatherhood, both from just like a, secular, like psychological standpoint to like, the spiritual meaning of fatherhood, reading, books about saints and looking at, their examples and things that they did. Each of us have different, mentors in our life that, you know, that we look to and we're able to ask questions. But I just feel like, you know, becoming a dad, you know, you get home from the hospital and there's no manual.
Yeah.
There's no handbook.
Yeah.
You know, there's like maybe some best practices, you know, that you can pick up here and there.
A
You can
one-pager.
a little one-pager document, you know, executive summary,
Yep.
things you need to know.
Yeah.
But it's so much of just kind of learning on the fly.
Yep.
You know, so I'd be curious to hear from you, John Michael, just like what are some of those things that like in your experience of fatherhood so far. Eden is what, she's turning
About to be 6.
She's turning 6 in
Yep.
October.
Yep.
You know, what are some things that you feel like, you know, you've had to learn just from being a dad
Yep.
that maybe no one else could have taught you, or just you could have read in a book?
Well, I mean, I think it's a great question, because I think for a lot of guys who may be tuned in, you know, the line of I want to do better than my dad, right? That's something we probably heard our dads share.
Yeah.
Right? I want to be a better dad than my dad was.
Yep.
Which is good. That's a great desire. But if you're just better than your dad was, is that really the goal?
Right.
Is that really like what we should chase for, is just being 10% better than the old man before us?
Yep.
And I think what I've struggled with is when I have these questions, what do I do? And my dad has had a beautiful reawakening of faith later in his life. Growing up, we were raised that faith is important, but it's just as important as watching the Cowboys on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's like you go to mass, that's part of the tradition. You watch the Cowboys at 3 p.m., you listen to Troy and Joe, and you watch them go 4-12 in the Bad Luck Blues.
Yep.
But what I've struggled with the most probably is, how do I spiritually raise my children when the image that I had was faith was a important part of our life, but how do I transition that to faith is the central, you know, element of the family? And that's where I've struggled, and I feel like that's where I've had to lean on older mentor dads.
Yeah.
Which I think could be a best practice for any guy tuning in is, you know, don't just try to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
But spend time, lots of time, with dads who you respect, who are older than you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for our family, honestly, where I've learned it is from my dad older friends.
Yeah.
So we have quite a few friends we're blessed with in our neighborhood that have, you know, 5 kids, 6 kids, 7 kids, and their kids are, you know, 12, 13, 14. And so I'm constantly picking their brain.
Yeah.
Hey, how'd you handle when your kid went to school for the first time, and now you're not spending a lot of time with them because you're used to them being in the home, and now because of work and school and activities, you're only seeing them 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And one of my dad friends who's much more experienced, he's 40, he's got 6 kids. What he told me is, I was wrestling with that now that Eden's in school, is he was like, never do something alone when you could bring her with you. That was the advice he gave me. So you go to the supermarket to go buy groceries on Saturday, bring her with you. Car wash, bring her with you. You're mowing the lawn outside, invite her to come outside.
Yeah.
Because you don't have as much quantity with your kids as they get older.
Yeah.
But inviting them into the kind of the day in, day out, just
Spending
things
time
that
together.
happen in life.
Yeah.
And the other thing I've learned is intentional dates with my kids.
Yeah.
So I learned that from our mutual friend Dominic, but like once a month, taking each kid out, and it could be to the park one-on-one.
Yeah.
It could be to the coffee shop and they get to pick a muffin.
Yeah.
It could be, you know, I just took Eden the other day to Target.
Yeah.
And she got to pick out one, you know, cheap, like the dollar, you know, the little dollar section they have by the checkout counter. She got to pick that.
What'd she get?
She got a pink nail polish set, like, well,
great.
not a set, but just like one singular.
Yeah.
We go to the checkout counter and the lady's like, "Is that it?" Like, hey, look, all right, don't question my budget, ma'am. So it's I do think that is a key though.
Yeah.
Is for many of us who, you know, we had good fathers.
Yeah.
We respect our fathers, but there's probably some lacking there.
Yeah.
And so spending time with those dads who are 2, 3, 4 steps ahead
Yeah.
is the only way to go.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's great. Clayton, anything you've learned, you know, similar
I really
to
like
Michael?
that. I really like that monthly date idea.
Check
You know,
in. Yep.
I just took my second oldest. I have 3, so my middle child to HEB to get some groceries, which normally we don't. You know, my wife never goes into the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's the amazing thing about the 21st century is that
They put it right in the
mobile
car.
orders.
you just drive up and they put it in your car.
for no extra charge, right?
Yeah. Well,
They even click the button for you to close the door.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't have to lift a finger.
No.
My one issue with that though is that you can't choose your produce.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get really horrible produce.
Yep.
Or they do this thing where they substitute. Like you say you ordered something and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, they don't have it, so we're just going to substitute it for you.
And they do the weirdest substitutes.
Yes. And
It's like, we didn't have almonds. Here's a bag of bread.
Here's some almond milk. Yeah.
Couple almond joy bars for you.
You can pick them out.
But yeah, we went into and you could see that grocery store trip is like, oh yeah, you know, the convenience of just driving to the store and getting the groceries and putting them in the back of the car makes things a lot easier, you know. But then, you know, this particular occasion was just like we needed some things from the grocery store and we just had to go and do it. But I had this experience where I was like, you know, maybe this is something where, you know, instead of my wife having to be the one to order the groceries, put the kids in the car, go to the mobile pickup order area, you know, bring it all home, put the kids inside. Maybe this can be something where I can just put in my schedule 1 to 2 times a month of just like, I'm going to do the grocery shopping and I'm just going to bring a kid along with me. And they sit right there in the front and I spend time with them. And me and John Luke just had the best time. Yeah. You know, he was laughing and
they don't need
he was making
much.
jokes.
They don't need much.
That's what really struck me is like, I haven't had that much one-on-one time with John Luke, my 3-year-old in particular. And I was like, man, I need more of this, you know? But I would say too, I mean, Reagan and I, we lived in Denver for a couple of years before we moved back to Texas, and we're a little bit closer to family now. But we just had so many people in our corner, and like you were saying, families that were a couple steps ahead of us that we looked to. You know, that we were able to ask questions to about fatherhood and about parenthood. I'm trying to think of maybe something particular that I might have, you know, learned from one of them. Nothing's really like sticking out right now, but you were bringing up earlier, John Michael, just like how do you make faith the central theme of your family life and not just something that's a part of your family life. And I think one of the things that I've had to learn as a dad over the last couple of years, you know, I had my conversion in college and I, you know, began to pray more. You know, went on a couple mission trips and was trying to make, you know, daily mass a regular part of my life. And it was like my spiritual life was just kind of my own. Mm-hmm. You know, it was my time to pray. Right. It was my time to go to mass, and I kind of set my schedule to do those things. Then you get married, and it's like, okay, how do I incorporate, you know, prayer with my spouse? How to incorporate, you know, prayer with my children? Yep. And I feel like that's something that, you know, we're still trying to learn right now. But the one thing that my wife and I have been, you know, talking about is like, if we want the faith of our family to be the heart of our family life, we've got to figure out, one, how to do it together. Like, you know, we're not living 2 separate spiritual lives. We aren't, obviously, in a sense, but how do we, you know, incorporate prayer with one another and allow God to be the center of our own hearts and allow that to flow into our children? Just because it's so easy just to kind of get caught up in the day-to-day. Yeah. Like, how do I make sure that I'm being a witness to my children that, you know, this isn't just a part of my life, but everything in our life is connected to our love and service of God.
Beautiful.
Well said.
Beautiful.
Great. Well, as we close out, I want to close with this. As dads, you guys know that you're responsible for a lot of different things in the house or in the family, right? Whether that's unclogging toilets, taking out the trash, whatever that may be. What would you say is your least favorite dad job?
Hands down, throw up.
Like, you have to throw up?
No, I throw up when I have to do responsibilities. No, I'm kidding. Cleaning kids throw up.
Oh gosh, yeah. That is. I'm not looking forward to that.
I don't know what it is, but kids puke at an alarming rate.
And I'm a sympathetic puker. Like, if I see someone puke, I will puke right along with them.
You're like, hold my hair.
Yeah, we can hold each. I'm so scared of that.
Oh, it's like I puke once every 3 to 4 years.
Yeah,
like it's been 4 years, and I just can book it in my calendar somewhere in the next 3 months. It's gonna happen.
It's happening. Yeah.
But kids, it's like if they haven't puked in 2 to 3 weeks, you're like, great. Reminder set on the phone over the next 3 days. It's gonna happen because they just.
Well, that's the thing. It's not only that. It's just that they have no concept of like, hey, if you're gonna puke, one, you should try to make it to the toilet. Obviously, they're not thinking that. Second thing, hey, if you're gonna puke in one spot. Just puke in one spot, and it's like
swallow it for like crying out loud.
Yeah, they wanted to, they wanted the walls to be a new paint color. Just like,
didn't your son just recently threw up everywhere in the middle of the night? What was that story?
He pooped
with
he
Joseph?
pooped everywhere.
Oh gosh, yeah, this was a bad dad moment, but it's a moment of vulnerability. But my oldest son Joseph came downstairs and he was like, "I'm not feeling good." This is like at 2:00 in the morning, and I was like, "Go to bed, sleep it off, and
Rub some dirt on it, Joe.
And he had, I think the night before he had thrown up like a tiny amount, and he likes to be dramatic. He's like, "Oh, I threw up," and it's like, "No, you just kind of spit, it wasn't really throw up." And so he's a little dramatic. So he comes down again like an hour later, and he's like, "I threw up," and I was like, half asleep. I was like, I don't think you did. And his room's all the way upstairs.
Yeah.
It's a large trek to make if you just had a little spit. And I was like, "No, you didn't." He's like, "No, I threw up, Dad." And I was like, "Sleep on the other side of the bed. Like, turn your pillow over." Just thinking that it was like he spit a little bit, and it was like not a big deal. And then I wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, and this memory is coming back to me.
Yeah.
And it was like I wasn't fully awake. I was like, did he throw up? And so I got out of bed and I walked out in the living room, and I see my son sleeping on the couch. He had got a pillow and a blanket.
Oh, that's so cute.
And he was just sleeping on the couch. I was like, "Joseph, you okay?" He was like, "I threw up." And I go upstairs. There's just vomit everywhere, like covering his whole bed. And I told Reagan in the morning, I was like, "You're not gonna believe this." I told my son to go back to sleep.
Go sleep in it.
My favorite part of that story is that your two oldest sons have bunk beds, right?
Yeah.
And Joseph's on the top bunk.
Yeah.
So the vomit was dripping down.
No, there was a large volume, but he did make it all on the bed, thankfully. So John Luke was peacefully asleep below him. Yeah.
Because my favorite thing of that story is that John Luke just slept through all of it.
Yeah,
It's like
seriously.
Joseph is fighting a battle up on the top bunk.
I think the funniest thing to me is like Joseph's like, whatever. Like I'm going to take matters in my own hands here. I'm going to gather some supplies. Yeah. I'm going to make a little cot on the couch.
He's a dad already. That's right. Taking ownership of his life.
That's great. Would you say you have any least favorite dad jobs or roles?
Honestly, I think one thing is taking out the trash.
Really?
I don't know what it is. The tough thing, the last couple of weeks, we used to be able to take the trash out. Trash comes on Thursday.
Yep.
We used to be able to take it out on Thursday mornings. I'd usually take it out like 7 a.m.
Yep.
And that would be totally fine. The trash guy would come, 8, 9 a.m. And then there was a couple weeks in a row where it was like our trash wasn't being taken. This was recently, like the last couple of weeks. Now we have 4 weeks worth of trash just sitting outside our house because we were like, oh, maybe we missed it, and then we were traveling on one of the Thursdays, so we didn't get to put it out, and then we didn't like put it together, so then we didn't put it out again. So anyways, but it's just like we've got, we need to get 2 trash cans. We need one of those double ones, but it's just one of those things where it's like it's the last. You're cleaning up dinner. You're like it's just like the last thing that you want to do.
10 steps to the curb is just.
It's a lot.
That's where I draw the line.
It's a lot.
Well, the worst part is dirty diapers. You put them in a trash can and it's 90 degrees outside, and they start cooking in there for a week.
Oh yeah.
The smell of our trash cans is enough to kill a man.
Yeah.
Like every time I open it, I go.
Yeah, hold that breath in.
Yeah.
Oh. I think my kid's not here yet.
Yep.
The worst dad job that I'm not looking forward to is I was babysitting some of my friend's kid, and I was giving him a bath. And this is like maybe my first time ever giving a kid a bath. And we're just hanging out, he's playing in the bath, and all of a sudden he just poops.
In the tub?
In the tub.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the worst. The warm water brings it out of him.
Well, the worst part, too, is that it happened as I pulled up, like, the
stopper?
The stopper. And so he poops, and it, like, goes towards the back of the tub, and then I pull it, and it just comes right back, like, slingshot back towards the front. And my friend's kid, Dominic, he's, like, grabbing as it's passing by. It gets all over him. It gets all over the tub. And I'm just sitting there, like, it's a disaster.
That's where you call the parents and you say time to come home.
But they were on a date night, right. So I was just like, what do I do? And I'm just not looking forward to moments like that. I'm sure they're funny, like now I laugh about this story. I'm sure with my own kids, I'll laugh as well. Anyways, that's great. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the All In podcast where we talked for the last 40 minutes about different dad things that don't really relate to each other. Thanks for tuning in and for figuring out fatherhood with us.